So we're back. We're back. My voice is better than it was this morning, but how's everybody doing? Where's Blue Midas? I never promised a Blue Midas. Zup doodle. I saw Rias. Been catatonic the past 2 weeks without you. Boo womp. Sounds like you smoked 7 packs a day. How many Winstons did you smoke before this broadcast? The only thing I smoked was bitches. Anyway, it's been a hot minute. You can tell because my toggles are all fucked. And it took forever to get my stream set up. It's been so long that my beta test for self-reflect is busted. So I had to set back up my my leap motion. I don't know when I'll get to use my nice full body tracking again. It's kind of tragic. First broadcast back. Thank you, Rias. Don't get yourself in trouble, Rias. Don't. That would be tragic. That'd be Rias. But God, I missed so much over the last while. Where do I start? So, initially I was gonna do a making beef jerky broadcast with the fruit dryer and a hand cam, but I'm really sick. Like, I'm probably infectious, and I don't want to make infectious beef jerky, and I don't want to have that dry, like, I don't want to have dry meat in my bedroom. I'd have to move the dryer out of my room, so it's either I'm drying fruit, or I'm just using it as a space heater. I'm not going to, like, if I will do the jerky, but I have to rethink the logistics of it, because it isn't a very smart thing to do at this point in time. I wanted fruit dehydrated. I know. I know. And I actually took a lot of video footage of me doing some, like, fruit dehydrated stuff. I made a whole video setup. I just haven't gotten around to editing it because, well, up until this morning, I was quite literally bedbound. Like, I could not get up. Like, that voice note was me just waking up, and it was like, holy fucking shit, I'm James Earl Jones. I'm James Earl Jones, everybody. I'm goddamn Darth Vader. But yeah. You wanna know what fucking sucks? I got some artwork over before I went for Christmas and New Year holidays. I promised the people that watched the fucking Postal broadcast that since I failed something, I would get, like, a punishment artwork, and I got a furry artwork because, for one, that was the deal, but also, two, I had a fun gag I was gonna plan. I was gonna put a video together about furry Japan versus furry everywhere else, and why Japan is better, like, for everything. It's like thing Japan, right? Like, I still have it like 90% set up, but the artist took 5 fucking ever. Like, they missed the deadline like twice, and then afterwards they got mad at me for being upset that they missed the deadline twice, and their justification was, oh, well, I personally have waited 4 to 6 months for a commission, you're just impatient. It's like, don't give somebody a fucking, like, final due date then, if you don't want them to expect it to be done by the due date. Anyway, I digress. I got the artwork, and then immediately just now, because I was going to show it on broadcast, I was going to go grab their @ on Twitter so that I could credit them properly. And, oh, is that a Paradigm raid? Hello, raiders. I'm very angry about a furry right now. I went to go find their ad on Twitter so I could credit them properly, because even if they were a little bit slow, they still did great work, so I thought. And they delivered it, eventually. And all I'm seeing is, like, their account's deleted. I thought initially maybe I was blocked, so I went on an alt, and no, their account is fucking gone. And so I look up their name, and apparently over the last few days, they're being accused of doing AI artwork. Like, all their artwork is AI or AI assisted. And I didn't know that. Like, that's just something that came out immediately after they gave me the final artwork. And people are doing the thing where, and it legitimately does look like it was AI assisted. Like, it looks like maybe it was generated initially with AI and then painted over to be cleaner and more their style. So I don't know what to do with this artwork, because I was going to put it in the fucking video, and it is really cute, but I don't know if I just got scammed out of, like, $200 by an AI hybrid artist. Like, I'm beside myself. Like, 'cause this shit is so cute. Like, it is genuinely so cute. My luck is fucking abysmal. Like, no, legitimately, this person was doing a bunch of really cute adopts, and the style was consistent enough. I genuinely thought, and here's the thing, I went to fucking art school, okay? I like to think that I'm very good at picking out AI. So, me not being able to clock it as AI was shocking to me, so I thought maybe that was a false accusation. But they had no defense for themselves. They just fucking obliterated their online presence, which just tells, like, me that they were guilty and that they ran away when they were caught. And people were pointing out the inconsistencies, and even looking at the delivered art I got, it's like slightly lower quality than I expected. Like, because when you're an artist, you email the final product, you email high quality PNG of the artwork. It's a little crunchy, and that's like a fucking warning sign, right? Because why would you send somebody a low resolution version of the artwork, right? Anyway, I'll drag it up on screen. And it's really cute. Like, I want to use it, but I don't know if it's AI. I think it's like partially AI, but I can't check because my DMs with them are fucking gone because they deleted their account. There might be a way for me to recover some of the DMs, but yeah. I'm disappointed because it ended up really cute despite them taking 5 fucking ever. I don't know. I'm just really bummed. Because it's like I'm sick, but it's like, well, at least I can like do the funny furry video today and do the funny furry conversation today, but it's like, oh no, I guess it's fucking AI in theory. I don't know, because it looks painted over. It just sucks. I mean, look at this. The reason I like this style is because this is closer to what a Japanese style furry illustration would look like. It doesn't look as uncanny. It doesn't look scary like fucking American artwork. It's very cute, very storybook, and very human. Whereas the other stuff falls in uncanny valley. So the fact that this might not be real is very upsetting to me. Because this was going to be like my shining example of what I think is a good like piece of furry artwork that isn't scary and uncanny. But it's just like, well, I guess I can't use it anymore as a shining example, right? Like, I'm just pissed. I'm so pissed. But you know what? Points for me, because I found this out because I was gonna go look for them to credit them properly. So, haha. My artist sensibilities have saved me yet again from accidentally advertising for AI slot potentially. I'm so mad. This is what I get for fucking supporting artists, and I say this as an artist. This is what I get for supporting a fucking artist. The longer I'm in the VTubing space as somebody who isn't making assets, the more I hate asset creators. I genuinely... like, they take on responsibilities that they cannot fulfill. So many of them. And I myself was guilty of it to a degree, but even when that happened to me, I wouldn't post fan art, right? And I wouldn't take on a billion new comms. I would just stick with the ones that I was late on, and I would stay on them exclusively, and I wouldn't post new artwork. I wouldn't even make new artwork. I would feel too fucking guilty. And that's why I stopped taking comms altogether, because the stress was too fucking much, because I had a hard time with deadlines near the end. So when people like that would take on 1 billion comms and then post fan art every so often and then miss deadlines and then lie about deadlines, and then the cherry on top of the cake is that it might be fucking AI and they duck and run, I can't fucking stand artists. Just, I've got a degree in this shit, and and my bullshit radar just goes off all the time. Hold on, my leg hurts. Come on, my leg. I don't know. I don't want to pay someone else to redraw it because I've already paid once for it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to tussle with it to see if I'm willing to concede on it. Well, to not be able to deliver in time if AI is involved. You see, that was the thing, right? Because they kept posting. Like, if this was AI, then it wasn't entirely AI. I do genuinely believe there was probably at least some painting over going on, like maybe some of it was generated and then they did some detailing on their own, and that's why it took so long, because my design is very specific and it didn't have any warping in weird places, except for like maybe the furry part. Also, I heard some... Looks like it's been worked over. Exactly, Callum. Like, I do think there's genuinely some... Like, this person was probably an actual artist, but somebody who took some bad shortcuts and got caught. Thank you for the follow, Firewater. Waterfire 513. This is now twice someone's worked on something else for an extended period of time instead of working on something you paid for them to work on. Exactly! Lol, no. Fucking exactly! Wouldn't risk a rep of loss using AI gen material commercially. Yeah, well, I'm not going to be using it commercially. Like, so let me tweak out about it in the video I made. Yeah. Is there software to check? Here's the thing. The software to check for AI shit is not reliable, because it doesn't actually look for very specific AI artifacting. It looks for just art things that any artist can do. Like, there's some maybe like little digital artifacting that some of these processings like do pick up and can tell, but a lot of the time you can just put in real human art that just doesn't look good and it'll say that it's AI. It looks for like visual quality instead of specific reasons why it would be generated. And I know that there's a way to check metadata for some pictures, but sometimes that doesn't matter. If somebody's taken an AI-generated thing, popped it in an art program, saved it as a different image, the metadata is now different, and so it'll come up as something else. There are AI generator checkers are not reliable in the slightest. I'm so fucking mad. Can't believe I agree with Stellan. Yeah, Callow. I can't believe I agree with Stellan either. Did they make contact there through X? I know it's a lot of AI scam artists use it lately. Yes, but here's the thing about this artist, is that they've been established for like a couple of years. And they had like a big backlog of artwork. And their artwork wasn't like consistent, but it was like over a long period of time, so I thought it was realistic artistic growth, right? It's frustrating! That was ironically, my Christmas gift to myself, was this fucking piece of bullshit. Artists who start to slip into their work over the time. Yeah, no, it's irritating. Anyway, enough of that. So that's what happened to me over Christmas. And you know what? At this point, I think genuinely I've had bad experiences with artists that are in guilds. I've had bad experiences with freelance artists. At this point in time, I think the only artists I can really trust are genuinely just my fucking fan artists. Like, I've had good experiences commissioning my fan artists because they're actual artists and they do things on time, and they accept reasonable payment. Just fuck it. I guess we're keeping it incestuous, everybody. We're keeping it in the family, keeping it in the community. Yes, it's always Japanese artists that are reliable because I guess there's a different kind of culture for their working, or the fan artists because they don't want to be, you know, caught slacking, I guess. I don't know. Do you have a Discord server? I do, Goth Artesian. It is just Core of Midas. Like, it is just at Core of Midas or Discord / Core of Midas. Do we have a mod in here who can link it? I keep hearing the notification, but I can't see where it is. Hold on. No, I know that somebody is doing something. Just can't figure it out. What the fuck are my notifications? Somebody did something interesting and important and I want to see what it is, but my alerts are not working. Okay, I think my alerts are back. I think I fixed my alerts. Let me just check Twitch real quick. Ernest, thank you for the resub for 4 months, tier 1. Screw you, Midas, you better not give me that black plug. I am giving you, I'm giving you yellow fever. Can I make that joke? Am I allowed to make that joke? I don't think I'm allowed to make that joke, actually. Hold on. Well, I mean, I'm yellow, so I have plausible deniability. Chat. You know what? Retroactive. Just cancel me right now. I made a joke. Give me a bowl, at least it's interesting. Hazard fever. Nose triggered, where's the delicious pelt splish? What the fuck does that mean? I'll give you the Asian pass. I'm so sorry. I only realized what it meant when it slipped out of my mouth because I've heard the term before, didn't connect the dots, and then I connected the dots as soon as it came out. I'm gonna regret that later. But you know what? All of the best humor is regrettable. At least. My voice is a little bit better than it was earlier. Earlier, I was like a whole octave and a half down. Jaundice. Viral disease transmitted by infected mosquitoes. Cora valorum. That is not what it means. That is not what it means. That's a very crass, way to describe white men who fetishize Asian women specifically. Can't wait for the 3-hour-long hit piece on why Midas is racist against Asians. I know, but it's also a real disease. So I have plausible deniability, everyone. There we go. I win. It's no longer accidentally racist because it could never be racist because there's actually some real evidence. There we go. No. Anyway, jangling keys aside. No. Let me pull up some of the images I had. Like, I fucking had Von Lycan is my example of a Japanese furry. Is the stuff just not fucking working? Okay, so it was gonna be like Furry Japan versus Furry American. This was gonna be the kind of comparison I was doing. Actually, let's get rid of Von Lycan. Let's do the other Furry Japan. This one's a better. There we go. Furry Japan versus Furry American. Right? Like, you can see why one is uncanny as fuck, and the other is like, oh, that's just a fucking person with ears. That's just a person with like maybe a tail, some ears, a little button on their nose. This one is just like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? It's staring at me. What the fuck is it? Right? Like, I see this shit in my nightmares. And you know what? If you're a furry, that's great. I know a lot of military furries specifically watch my channel. I'm glad that you have something you can enjoy, either in a wholesome way or to jack off to. I genuinely don't care. But I'm not touching this or the 10-foot clown pole. This, on the other hand, it's like, oh, that's fun. That could be a mascot. That could be a game character. That could be in a storybook. That could be in an anime. This doesn't ring my alarm bells as something scary. This one, it's just like, what the fuck is that? This one, it's like, yeah, that's an anime character. And you know why it doesn't ring my alarm bells? Like, I'll use Von Lycan as my example again, because that's just a fucking person. Look, you see the wolf version, and then you see literally almost no changes made to the face, and that's just a fucking person with ears. That's why it's not uncanny. Furries Japan are either really, really, really close to animal or really, really, really close to human, and there's very few in between. Whereas Americans have this weird uncanny valley perfect blend of animal and human to the point where, while it does theoretically make sense, it also is very fucking ugly, in my opinion. And everyone knows that my opinion is the only one that matters here when you're on my broadcast, okay? There we go, my alerts are now working. Have you ever checked out Japanese made fursuits? Yeah, I have an example of them right here. And here is a Fursuit Japan. Look at that. That is a fucking anime character. That's just a cute little thing. And this looks just like a fucking animal. That looks like an animal. That's just a cute little creature. Whereas this one, somebody made that because they want to fuck that. You can't look me in the eyes seriously and tell me that that was designed in an innocent way. And if you do look me in the eyes and you tell me that it was designed in an innocent way, you know what? I don't care if you're right or wrong, I won't believe you. Because that, to me, is scary as shit. I look at this, and this is like what I see in my nightmares. This is my Freddy's from Five Nights at Freddy's moment. Where the fuck are my boots? There we go. Like, this is weird. But this one, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking Studio Ghibli. This is like, really cute. This is like Cat in the Hat live action. This is like, oh, I could take my kid to a theme park and get a photo with this creature. That's a cute mascot, right? Like, you guys all watched the live action Cat in the Hat, right? Okay, side note, live action Cat in the Hat is the funniest fucking film. I don't care if people say it's garbage. It is actually peak. I don't care if the cat is uncanny, and if the kids are kind of strange. The whole premise of it is bizarre, and the fact they extended it into like a long film, and I don't know, I just think it's like really reflective of the creativity of the early 2000s, and they got away with so much that you could not make that film today. Like, I think the closest we get are things like the Sonic films or the Alvin and the Chipmunk films, which were made at the same time as the Cat in the Hat, but like the weird blend of animation and reality. And I'm not like into Sonic the Hedgehog, but I saw a really cool Shadow the Hedgehog artwork the other day on Twitter, and that got me thinking, okay, if this fan base is that dedicated, there has to be something there. So I poked Gumshoe Gamer, who is somebody that it's really funny. I fucking fucking scared the shit out of that guy because I used to follow him in my PL. Well, I do follow him in my it's PL, right? But in my other identity, and I was a frequent watcher of his. And I stopped watching him after I started doing Midas stuff because I got really busy. And he ended up following Midas, and he was just like, "Oh my god, I have the opportunity to do the funniest fucking thing ever." So I scared the shit out of him. Anyway, he's really into Sonic, so I got him to recommend me some Sonic games, and then he gifted me some Sonic games, which was very kind of him. So, I've never watched anything except for the first Sonic film, for any Sonic media, and no, Sonichu doesn't count as Sonic media. That's something else. But I am going to play one Sonic game. I will give Sonic one opportunity to win me over. I want to understand what it's about. I want to know why people care so much. I want to know why people who are typically very autistic, clinically autistic, really like Sonic the Hedgehog, okay? I feel like there's something I'm missing, right? Because I haven't experienced it. And I don't think I'm the type of person to like fall in love with that kind of media, but I also feel like I'm missing out because when I went to Anime Expo and I met up with like a group of 20 VTubers, like half of them were excitedly talking about like their Sonic OCs, and these are like people that are my peers, right? And these are people I never would have thought would be into Sonic the Hedgehog, but they were all like fucking pulling out their phones being like, I got a Sonic version of my VTuber model right here. Look at it. This is my favorite Sonic. Think this, that. And I'm like, there's so many fucking secret Sonic the Hedgehog fans in the VTuber space. Like, I'm gonna give it one try. On the members' broadcasts. Speaking of members' broadcasts, those are coming back, and they're going to be daily again. I'm almost better from being sick. This morning, I think I was at my worst, but I'm starting to get better. So I think after that, okay, I'm gonna quickly go through super chats. Okay, hello, Ombre Vicar VT. Thank you for the 5. Current setup: left monitor, Midas YouTube; right monitor, Midas Twitch; center monitor, learning to draw, trying to make Midas fan art. Unironically, I wanted to do an art contest months ago, like for 20k, and somebody told me that I shouldn't do that. That was dumb as shit, and I was very sad because I really wanted to do that. I think I'm gonna pick that idea back up again because I still want to do the Pink Midas Gyaru art contest. But yeah, I'm gonna start reaching out to more of my fan artists and get more commissions from them. And Ombre Vicare VT, thank you for the 2. As someone who is clinically autistic, can confirm. Excellent. I'm glad that I've got my finger on the pulse. Was looking at music and realized you were streaming. Hi, Midas. Hello, pretty boy Jeremy. Love the name. Thank you for the 5. And welcome to my broadcast. I'm very sick today. You missed me bitching and moaning about furries. And then Sonic the Hedgehog. We're off to a great start. Start? It's been a long 21 days. I also need the name of the BGM. Oh, it's original. It's original. I made it. Watch the first Sonic game Midas plays be Sonic 1 GBA. Salutations and good day. Salutations. Don't forget the AR. Yeah, I was upset about AI as well. Anyway, I'm gonna pull up real quick the Sonic game that was gifted to me. First time pitching into Midas proper. Greetings from further off east. Oh, welcome, Makaze Hitosu. Mikaze Hitosu. Let me see. Where is Steam? It was gifted. View all. Library. Uncategorized. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. Sonic 2 Adventure and Sonic Mania. Sonic 2 Adventure and Sonic Mania were the ones that were gifted to me. Now, I don't know what either of those games entail, but Sonic 2 Adventure has Shadow the Hedgehog on it, and I like the way that that guy looks. He looks very slick. He looks very much so edgy. And thank God I got Skyrim autism instead. I saw somebody had a mod for Skyrim where they had a chatbot that attached itself to all the NPCs, so you could like talk to them through speaker and they would respond with a generated response. That was an interesting thing. Had to describe a stream to an older coworker. Luckily I remembered broadcast thanks to you. Hell yeah, Blood Puma. We keeping the classics alive. Sorry, Midas, he's for Latinos only. Ah, damn! Really? If you have a oh, thank you, Ezra Forever 41. Thank you for the 50. Christ, if you have, I'll never get over seeing like red supas. That scares the shit out of me. If you have a PS2, there's a game on there that has 8 or 9 of the old Sonic games on it, including Sonic Pinball and Dr. Mario knockoff called Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Spent a great deal of my childhood playing those. Super fun. I don't have a PS2. I don't have a PS anything. My only gaming setup right now is my current PC and my iPhone. I've been doing a lot of Infinity Nikki from my bed in my sickness. Sorry for my rough sounding throat, by the way, guys. Honestly, for like 2 days, it felt like how I am at, like, this is gonna sound really crass, but it felt like I had a long tube shoved in there, and it was stretching the inside of my neck muscles apart, and the only way I can describe it is how I imagine it is to have a dick down your throat. Quite literally. Like, I have no idea if that's accurate, but in my mind the whole time it's just like I'm being fucked by this sickness. It sucked, but my throat is no longer in pain. Made you look nerd. No, made you look red hair across. Thank you for 2AS. That's not accurate. I don't know if it is accurate, okay? I've never... Wait, how would you know if it's accurate? How would you know if it's accurate? I'm only assuming. You said that with startlingly, like you knew. You have something you want to tell the class? Look, when you don't know how things go, you get creative to imagine scenarios. Cheekib! Thank you for the 10 community gift subs. Thank you. I'm so out of practice, guys. I'm sorry. But we're back on a consistent schedule. And I know I'm going to be attending a few events for other VTubers soon. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of me on some other people's channels as well. Yeah. Over the last 2 days, I was supposed to actually be participating in events, but I've been too sick. But you will see me soon. I think I can say it. I think I'm fine to say it. I will be participating in some Mythos activities soon. So, check out that side of things, and you'll see me around, floating around. I'll be orbiting. I'm Didus now. Yeah. Have you considered not being sick? I considered it, but then I recorded my voice while I was sick, and I posted it to Twitter, and somebody said I sounded like a... You know what? We're cutting that train of thought off right now. I don't want to be sick. Nope. We're on that path to healing. Oh, Dinomanic, I'm just collabing with them. I'm not doing anything in an official capacity. I'm just participating in some events. No 2-0. Aren't you supposed to be resistant to cold damage? Yeah, well, this wasn't cold damage, okay? My older sister took her family down to the States for Christmas. because she got a bunch of free shit. So she was able to take them to Disney. Disney. Ugh. I recoil. I'm in pain. She was able to take them to Disney for Christmas, which is absurd because it's like $2,000 a fucking ticket. But she somehow managed to swindle her way into only paying like $2,000 all told. And then she had like free gas. And then it was like fucking absurd. Like, I don't think anybody in our lives will ever have something like that again. Anyway, so it was really funny because she told her kids that she was taking them to the mines because their dad, my brother-in-law, is really into like mining equipment. So for Christmas, they were all going to go to a major mine shaft in the US. And her kids were really excited to go to the mines for Christmas. And so when they drove into California, the kids were really confused and they started bitching at my sister because they thought that she had like gotten them lost. Like, just like, no, let Papa drive. Let him drive. Let him take over. We're lost. We're lost. And so they pull up to the hotel and you can see Disneyland like from where they are in the window. And so my sister is just like taking the piss out of her kids saying, "Oh yeah, no, isn't that a coincidence? Oh, too bad. Maybe next time we can go to Disney. We'll go to the mines first thing in the morning." Anyway, and then that morning was Christmas morning, and they opened their presents, and yeah, the presents were mouse ears. They went to fucking Disney. But their son, their like 10-year-old son, was so fucking disappointed that he didn't get to go to the mines for Christmas. He's just like, "What do you mean we're going to Disney? I wanted to go to the mines. I had my pickaxe ready." It was so fucking funny. Did they go to Florida? A dad's special interest rubbing off on the kids. Yeah, it was... Anyway, they all had a good time. And I think what it was is that a cousin of ours... Okay, so I had a cousin who used to work on Club Penguin. And after Club Penguin shut down, she was shuttled to a different area of Disney Interactive or whatever it turned into, like their mobile gaming shit. And when you work for that, you get a fuck ton of free tickets. Like every month you get free tickets, you get park discounts and stuff. But she's like a Disney adult who's close to her 40s, and she's got no kids, she's got no spouse, she's got no friends, and so she's constantly pawning off her Disney shit to my older sister, who is also a Disney adult, but she's got a big family. And so my sister has been taking her family to Disney on the cheap, although I think this is going to be the last time she can do that because it's so expensive. Even Disney on the cheap isn't cheap anymore with free shit. Now, personally, I think Disney is shit. I hate Disney with every fiber of my being. So if I was ever offered to go with them, I would tell my sister to take a flying leap. I don't care how much fun it could be. Your cousin sounds very sad. My cousin has other ways that she fulfills herself in life, but her job and the free shit she gets from it is not one of them. I think she does a lot of music festivals and stuff. She's like a hippie, which is something else I also despise. But you know what? I'm glad that she's enjoying her life, and I'm not going to follow in her footsteps. Hello, Prep Cook Demon. What's up? Disney's the reason we have so many fucking scary-ass furries these days. You're heading to Disney World later this year. You're happy because your little cousins and sister will be happy if I go. You know what, Dustin L? Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. You want to know what's weird? What I heard from my older sister when she took her kids to the parks. On Christmas, it was kind of full, but it was only full of adults. She didn't find a single fucking family with kids, except for like one Mormon family that had 12 children. The park was entirely filled with Disney adults exclusively, and it was uncanny. And they did one day of Universal Studios, and there was only kids at Universal Studios. And I think that speaks a lot to the culture around those two mega corporations. But it's like, she said that it was like the strangest thing. And she put air tags in her kids' shoes because she was scared that they were going to get kidnapped from all these weird fucking adults. Families can't really afford anymore either. Exactly, Prajman. Exactly. Yeah, no, it's only through great trickery and circumstance that my sister does these things, and even then, I still think that it's a waste of time and money when she does them. Children want Transformers, not the damn mouse. It's funny you say that, professional yapper, because my oldest niece, she's like 11, she saved all of her pocket change to buy merch or whatever at one of the two parks. She didn't buy anything at Disney. When she went to Universal Studios, she bought a Transformers hat, and she was so excited because she could give it to Sisyphus. To those who don't know who Sisyphus is Sisyphus is my younger sister. She was here with me for Liar's Bar during the last broadcast. You know, the one that had the big event of all events happen. The one that we don't speak of. The one that could legitimately ruin everything if the bots on YouTube scanned that VOD and I hadn't edited it out to shit. The Peter Griffin soundboard incident. Anyway, Sisyphus. She gifted Sisyphus a Transformers hat. She was very excited about that. And I remember Christmas morning, not Christmas morning, like it was New Year's because they were driving back through and they came through our way and they dropped off Christmas gifts. She was so excited to give her this Transformers hat. And my younger sister has no idea what the fuck to do because she's never watched a single Transformers film. She doesn't care anything about mechs. But my 11-year-old niece is like jumping. She's like vibrating, excited that my younger sister's getting this Transformers hat. So there was a lot of theater around it. And later that day, my sister went and she watched a Transformers movie so she could talk about Transformers with her. It was really cute. She's just like, oh, yeah, that's right. I love Transformers. How did you know? And my niece was absolutely elated because the gift was appreciated. And she secretly is like Googling, what the fuck is a bumblebee? Yeah. But yeah. Trying to peer into the future and see when Midas will pause to look at chat so we can time her messages so she reads and reacts to them. If I had a nickel for every time Midas had deleted a vid and got scammed, I would have 2 nickels. Did your sister do the sound effect? Actually, no, the blue pill. It was the person that we were playing with. We were playing Liar's Bar, and I did it in a public lobby. Yes, I know. The one thing you should never do as a broadcaster, playing in games in a public lobby. But in my defense, I'd never had something like this happen before, so I didn't know, like, consciously that I should expect somebody to, over VC, realize that I'm live to an audience of people, and then start spamming the Peter Griffin soundboard of him yelling the N-word over and over and over and over again, like 50 times in a row, while I'm stun locked going, oh, fuck, this is stuck on my VOD. Hello, Shiantori. Thank you for the 5 blood, Puma. Glad you're feeling a bit better. It's nice having your yapping and ranting back. Oh, and we have clips of the VOD. No one is safe, haha. Yeah, well, you know what? I did my due diligence. YouTube didn't punish me for it, because I got rid of that chunk fast enough. Just a funny prank. A little gaffe. A goofy little gangster. That'll do it. Yeah. The good old internet. Like, I couldn't even be mad, honestly. I honestly deserved it for not practicing the proper safety precautions, but it was so funny, because that's the type of trolling that Sisyphus would do, right? Because she's bad. She's terrible. I love her, but she's terrible, okay? She does like causing a lot of problems. So when she left to go get water, and that happened, and it stopped after she came back, she was furious that she missed the funny Peter Griffin N-word spam. Like, she went back over the VOD, and she was like, old-time prospector throwing his hat down and stamping on it, kind of angry, like, what do you mean I missed the N-word spam? It's just like, this is why I never invite you onto my broadcasts. This is why you're not safe for me. Nah, Zupdoodle. She sounds based. Yeah, no, I'm not one to conceal the fact that I'm fairly different from my family, and my family is of definitely a different mindset, of which is not compatible with both who I am as a person, but also the wider internet in a monetizable sense. But I do love my family, regardless. And I think that's an interesting thing, because a lot of people, when they don't agree with their family, or they have fundamental kind of like inert differences that they can't reconcile, they cut them off. Sometimes that is the way to go if your family's physically dangerous, but like I see a lot of people do it over social reasons. And I think the degradation of the family unit is genuinely very tragic and traumatic. And I love my family, even through all of their interestingly problematic attitudes. Like, I love them so much. Like, the idea of cutting them off is far worse for me than them causing me trouble on the internet. Because these are the people that have been with me for 25 fucking years. It doesn't matter. Well, it does matter to me if they're wrong, and it does matter to me if they cause me trouble. But that is my burden to bear because I want them in my life, right? And I'm not embarrassed of them, even if they do embarrassing shit. So when they do something good or do something worthwhile, I am going to talk about it and show it off to the world. Like the cute fucking, yeah, I love Transformers, what the fuck is a bumblebee moment, right? Like that shit's the best. You know, it's just... My family is claiming I'm falling for satanic brainwashing because I wore a sweatband. I love them. Alba's rack, that is the funniest shit. The family murder mystery sessions are also interesting. Yes. My family loves being theatrical and dramatic. I always thought that I was unique, but I guess not, because as soon as it's time to run a murder mystery party, all of a sudden everybody is 10,000 times more animated and interesting than I could ever be. Like, I feel like if we had like a legitimate D&D session, if my family didn't think that was cringe as shit, I personally love D&D, and you're actually going to see some D&D coming from me very soon. Spoiler. Ooh. I'm going to be participating in somebody's D&D session soon, so that'll be interesting. But if they didn't think it was cringe as shit, I feel like they would be the most entertaining table of clownish motherfuckers. As a DM, I'm looking forward to it. Hell yeah, you'll know. Speaking of murder mystery, how'd the flirting go? Okay, so here's the thing. Me and one other family member got the exact same quirk card, and I clocked that very quickly because we both started flirting with the same guest, because neither of us wanted to flirt with family members, and I secretly swapped my card out so I wouldn't have to flirt with anybody, and instead I went for... Get this. I went for the religious lunatic. So I swapped it out, and so whenever they would start flirting with someone, I would immediately hit back with, yes, I also love them. In the eyes of God, we are all beloved children, you see, and we're all beautiful in our own ways. Even you disgusting, filthy reprobate. Like, it was glorious. The crossdresser was a religious lunatic. Yeah! It was a very fun character to play. Yeah. No, and so when the plot twist happened, my plot twist, because everyone had their own, that I was actually a guy LARPing as my own mother, but I was also a religious lunatic. Like, it was pretty great. I know somebody else's character quirk is that they had to force themselves to get drunk throughout the night, and so halfway across the table, we had one guy, like, it was my brother-in-law, like, every 5 seconds he'd refill his wine glass and he'd just, like, throw it back. And the other side of the table, my younger brother, his quirk was that he had to pretend to be terrified of bees. We're indoors, right? And so every 5 seconds he would stand up and yell, "I see a bee!" or whatever, and he'd run around the room. Like, the shit was chaotic as hell. I think it's one of those standout moments. Justice for Joggers, thank you for 5. Alan's Snack Bar. Yeah, I'm going to overpronounce it because I do not want that to be taken out of context in a clip because I said it lazily. Allah's mercy upon you. Interesting. Nick Cage impression then? Oh my god, you're right. Chat on board, tell me to do something and I'll do it. Zupdoodle, that scares the shit out of me. I don't know what you could be doing that's, Okay. Also, Furnace, I'm glad that you think it's dumb. I'm glad that, the lunacy of the event entertains you. Can I do a cartwheel? Well, there's raids in YouTube now? Huh? Did I just get a raid? Oh, wait. Who raided me? Did I miss a YouTube raid? I hate myself. Cozy! Oh, I couldn't tell. Hi! Oh, you missed an awful lot. I was really smack-talking furries. I hope your stream was going incredibly well. I'm broadcasting back live after 21 days. I'm on the upper end of sickness. I'm not down with the sickness. I am back up from it. How are you? My name is Midas. I am under the water. Please help me. A little while ago. I'm sorry. I missed it. I don't get the notification. Cozy, I love you, babe. I hope you don't think I ignored you. Midas, can I lick your underwater snot? The blue pill. Why don't you go, jump out of a window? Good night, Lyros Hazard. Man, some duders really missed you. I missed the duders. I don't miss the duders. I don't miss my duders. Not in the slightest. I hate all of you. I can feel it in my lungs. I have the urge to throw Midas into a volcano. Well, we did miss you. You know what, Praj? I did miss you. I missed you, Praj. Berlad, says she misses us. No! No! What is this character assassination? What is this slogging? Oh, can't believe I missed Cozy. Hold on, let me turn pink for a second. There we go. Pink in honor of the Cozy raid. Do you love 10 p.m. boiled eggs? What the fuck is a 10 p.m. boiled egg? Pink. Pink Midas. Yeah, I got the twin tails and the pink because it was a Cozy raid. Hold on, let me take my jacket off. There we go. Cool background, Midas. Thank you, Punk Jelly. We are here in something that's like vaguely Japanese. It came with Warudo. And I think my favorite thing about 3D environments in Warudo, I got jump scared by a Temu ad. That's fucking disgusting. My favorite thing about Warudo is that I can just go wee, whoop, woo. I mean, now I'm stuck in the rocks, but you know, I mean, this is. Hold on, let me rotate. Let me float up. There we go. Now we're chilling by the tree. Ooh, that's kind of scenic, actually. Hello. How's it going, duders? One of YouTuber to sing traditional heavy metal. I'm on a Manila Road and Anna Cruz's kick and Rip Mark Shelton, of course. Merging with the floor. Okay, so So I did sing before I like initially lost my voice, and I'm starting to get it back. I did sing an 11-minute, not Pierce the Veil, not that normie. No, what was the fucking? I sang "Save Me" by fucking. Why don't I just pull it up? Avenged Sevenfold. There we go. It's an 11-minute song. I covered an 11-minute song by Avenged Sevenfold called Save Me. And I haven't been able to post it yet because I made no video for it. And also, my mixing is dog water. And I don't think that you guys want to hear shit. But it exists. And I will post it eventually. Oh yeah, Avenged Sevenfold are corny. Yeah, I love my corny schlock, okay? I love Avenged Sevenfold, okay? Not that normie shit. Avenged Sevenfold. No, I don't want that normie shit. I want my normie shit, okay? I like my specific flavor of normie shit, okay? Doesn't make it any less normie, but it makes it the one that I like. And that's what's important, okay? Everybody will have one thing. Like, everybody will claim to have premium taste, but there will always be one normie thing that you will like. And that's okay. As long as you can, like, admit that you have a problem, then you can start to get better. My normie shit is Weezer. Aw, Dynamite, that's crazy. Better Health isn't a scam, but a highway robbery. Yeah, Better Health. All those online therapist things have always seemed so predatory to me. I've never wanted to try them. It's like, how... Like, I always wondered how they licensed them and how they ran their background checks. And so when they were exposed for not having licensed therapists and not running background checks, it was just like, ah, yes, I fucking called it. This place is just full of fucking grifters that like to prey on the mentally ill. So yeah, seeing that it's still advertised these days is fucking disgusting to me. Ignore all 3 requests and turn back to pink. BetterHelp was a well-known scam. Yeah, so therapists. You know what? There's a certain type of person out there that benefits from having a therapist, like, for their brain health or whatever, but I am not somebody that I think would benefit from a therapist, and I will tell you why. Because ignore everything. What do you mean, Yuki Shimura? I also did see the honey scandal. Here's the thing. As a child, I did see a child therapist. And I was like 5 or 6. I was like in grade 1. So I was 6. And the woman who was my therapist was literally named Mrs. Pitts, like armpits, right? Hated this bitch. Hated her to hell and back. Because she never actually was trying to get to the root of any problems. The reason I was sent to her was because my family was like 90% sure that I had BPD at that age, because I had older family members that also had it. And so like they saw a pattern and they're like, okay, well, maybe our kid is just spicy and they're not mentally ill. So we're going to do all of the things that the doctors are recommending without medicating our kid, because maybe she'll grow out of it. And one of the things was sending me to the child therapist and the child psychologists. So they sent me to Mrs. Pitts, and I would visit her like twice a week in grade 1. And, you know, it was like we'd be doing our thing in class. I'd be pulled out of class because I'm a problem kid, and then I'd go see the therapist. And she wouldn't try to understand me, if that makes sense. She would always ask incredibly invasive leading questions meant to incriminate my family. Quite literally, like, even as a fucking kid, I noticed that she was doing something really weird. Because I'd walk in and she'd be like, oh, so did anything really bad happen to you at home this week? Did you get hit this week? Granted, I've never been hit. Like, ever. Right? So, like, these are, like, really out of nowhere questions, right? Or, so, did they do anything that seemed really bad or weird to you? And it's just like, I feel like there's ways that are direct to ask these kinds of questions if you feel like there's an assumption that something's going on. But my parents were the ones that sent me here. I wasn't sent here by the government, right? So her asking these questions were just so strange. And I always remember getting angry at her because, like, how dare you accuse my family of doing these things? My family hasn't done anything like that. And she'd be, you know, dismissive and pretend that I was too stupid to understand what she was saying. So she'd sit me down, and then she'd leave for the rest of the half-hour session to take phone calls in the office, because they still had, like, the phone calls on the wires. So then what I would do is I would fuck her shit up. So she'd come back, and she'd be upset because her room is all messed up. One day, she left, and just before she had left to take her calls and do whatever, she had left me with her prized, like, therapy item, which was like a, it was like a unicorn, like plushy unicorn on a bunch of strings, a marionette. It was like a unicorn marionette. And she showed me how it worked, and she told me to play with it while she left. And she told me she had it for like 10 years. And that she really treasures it. So what she did after what I did after she left is, because she had started the session again being very irritating for no reason, is I took the kid scissors that we had been doing crafting with, and I cut every single one of those strings and I tied them all together. I think that was the very last session I had with her. It's not unfixable, but annoying as shit, yeah. No, here's the thing. She is the person that made me realize my mortality. I had a situation where when I was a kid, it was during one of her sessions, my family told her that I like to draw. So she used that information. She's like, oh, somebody told me you like to draw pictures. And I'm just like, please go away. Leave me alone. Let me go back to class. We're like playing a game in class. This is boring. I'm like 6. So she takes a piece of paper out and she's like, I want you to doodle your life. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm very good at stick figures and representational things. So I'm like drawing little things and I'm crudely writing words because, I was, doing my thing. And so I had me being born. I had me going to school. I had me going to big kids school. I had me getting married. I had me getting a job, which was ironically in the mines. And I had like a stick figure with a pickaxe over my head. I had very recently watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I loved that like animated, the old one, right? I loved it because I liked the idea of being a dwarf. I wanted to be in the mines and take a pickaxe and have a big chunk of gold. That sounded so fucking cool to me as a 6-year-old, right? Like in my brain, that was like the coolest thing possible, right? Going in there and coming out with a big old shiny rock. And so I had that there as my job, and then have a kid, because I guess that's just what you do when you're a grown-up, and then dead, because I knew that you were supposed to die at the end. But then I paused, and it's just like, I realized, wait, no, this is my life. I'm going to die. So, like, this is just like, I'm going to die at the end of this. This is real. This is now attached to my life. This isn't just some vague thing. Death is at the end of my life. And I started having like this big mental breakdown. I started screaming, hyperventilating. I fell on the floor and I was crying. I was inconsolable. And this bitch of an idiot had no idea how to handle me. And so she scampered off to the office like a pussy. And instead of doing her job as a child psychologist, she called my dad. And she's just like, pick up your kid. I can't handle her. And so my dad came and he calmed me down and got me in the car. He had me in the seat. And I have the drawing with me, and we're driving down the road back to my house in the mountains, and he's just like, so, what was going on? What was the problem? Why were you so upset? And remember, my memory's vague, right? Because I was 6, but I'm giving you the sum of it. It was, we were stopped for some reason along the side of the road, and I showed him the drawing, and he stopped, and he looked at it, and he looked at me, and he looked at the drawing, and he pointed to the mining. And he said, if your axe, because I had the pickaxe over my head, right? Because I was thinking of the dwarves, like, swinging it over the heads. If that falls on your head right there, you'll skip all the way to the end. And then he points to the dead part, and I lost it. I fucking lost it. I lost my goddamn marbles, and I never wanted to be a miner again. I hate Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I hate it. I hate the idea of being a dwarf. I can't be in the mines. I don't want a pickaxe. I'll die. Anyway, my dad got in a lot of shit for that one, like he deserved. I love my dad. I do like my father. It's always the mines with my goddamn family. Is it just a hereditary impulse to talk about the mines, I guess? Eldad removed your yearning for the mines. It was more just the novelty of coming out with a big shiny rock. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I want to catch up on supers. Don't let Midas play Deep Rock Galactic. That's crazy. Something something Tomboy Mine Nevada. Yeah. My experience with therapists, they forced me to take Ritalin as a child, which had the funny side effect of frying my brain, making me unable to control my anger. New lore, Midas the Unicorn Destroyer. I mean, yeah. It was always recommended that I be heavily medicated as a kid, and my family was very, very much so against medicating me. And I never understood why. And then when I became an adult, when I was like 18, I really fought to get medication for the first time in my life because, yeah, I grew up and it did end up being BPD. It didn't end up being I grew out of being a shitty kid. It was just I was just a shitty person in general with my brain formed wrong, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, now that we know that it's actually this and we've confirmed it and it's not something like a phase that I grow out of, I'm going to get the medication for it. And they gave me antipsychotics and antidepressants. And immediately, like, I felt something was so wrong. Like, it felt so gross. Like, I felt like my brain was empty. I couldn't draw anymore. Like, I couldn't focus on my artwork. I couldn't do my university homework. I couldn't do anything. I was, like, less angry, but I was also less everything. There was nothing in me, and I had no motivation to wake up for the day. It was like I was a shell of myself. I had, like, some of my thoughts, and I could think clearly, and I could think back on my life a bit, but, like, ultimately I ended up cutting out the medication entirely because it just ended up making me, like, incredibly suicidal, which is, like, not great. Alright. So yeah, I'm 25 and unmedicated, but I have had a lot of, like, training socially, which is the next best thing, because this isn't something you can cure. This is just, you're a fucked up individual and you have to learn how to be functional around people. And I'm very good at that. Alright, time to catch up on Subas. Red hair across made you look nerd. No, fuck you. Thank you for the 2. Blood Puma, thank you for the 5. Glad you're feeling a bit better. Nice to have you yapping and ranting back. Oh! And we have clips of the VOD. No one is safe. Haha. Dale's Knight, thank you for the 199. Families dividing over politics is such a waste. 100%. Because politics can change over time. But relationships with people, once you damage them, it's very hard to fix them. We already did the Allen Snack Bar. Foamy King, thank you for joining Duders. Pyro Rompa, thank you for the 10. Red Hair Across, thank you for the 5. This is late, but one of the songs that played in the game during Postal Stream was Violence by A Fall to Break. I'll keep that in mind, because I did really like the music in Postal. Well, I talk to a therapist when I talk to myself. Xander Kane, you're absolutely right. Thank you for the 2. Well, 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 look who's back. Well, 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 Michael. It's me. I'm like the opposite of purple guy. I'm yellow bitch. Thank you for the 199. High dosage of antipsychotics have another name among my coworkers and I. Chemical lobotomy. Glad you're getting by without them. Oh yeah. No, like, it was kind of funny because my parents had the right answer for the wrong reasons. They were very against medication because they were of the mindset that it was entirely just a financial scam, which, to be fair, it is. And that was entirely the reason they didn't want me medicated, because it was like a financial scam purposely designed to make me a child, chemically lobotomized and stupid and easy to control. And damage me growing up. As an adult, I realized that it was designed to chemically lobotomize me and make me easier. But I actually don't know if they were wrong, now that I think about it. I always thought they were conspiratorial nuts for it, and I was very much so upset that I never got medicated because everybody was telling me I needed to be medicated. Literally, everyone online said the only thing you can do is get medicated. Everyone in real life that ever knew anything about me said that I should be medicated. And then when I got medicated, I realized, oh, this is actually really damaging, and this is making me, this is ruining me. So maybe they weren't crazy. To be fair, they shouldn't have been trying to prescribe antipsychotics to me when I was 6 anyway, because I hadn't gotten a diagnosis. So, that in itself is insidious, actually, now that I think about it. Remember the game We Happy Few? I love that game. I watched so many playthroughs of it. Apparently people say that it was really difficult to play, but as a film, watching Let's Plays of it, is genuinely one of my favorite things that I've ever watched. One of my favorite modern games. Speaking of crazy, my eggs are done. Hell yeah, prep cook. It's just major lethal negligence for profit. I do feel like there's probably proper ways to treat children who have those kinds of who need medication, right? But at least for me, I was one that it probably would have been very damaging for me to be medicated. But I had no way of knowing. I was impressionable. Who gives a prescription before diagnosis? Canadian healthcare, baby! Seems like a lot of millennial gen were handed ADHD meds like candy. I was never prescribed for ADHD. That was never something, and I don't think I have it. I genuinely don't think I have it. I don't have ADHD. I don't have autism. I have my own problems, and I do have a diagnosed problem. But it really pisses me off when people act like I have stacking debuffs. When in reality, I have one thing that has some crossover symptoms, but that doesn't mean I have every single diagnosis. And that's what a lot of people misunderstand, crossover symptoms. Because somebody will see that 3 different things have the same symptom and decide that means they have all 3 things, and not that there's 3 different things that have the same symptom, so maybe they have one of them. And I had a good buddy who kept trying to convince me that I had ADHD and that I had autism and what I currently have. And it's just no, nice try. I also had this person trying to convince me to do weed. And you know what? I love this person, but I'm never fucking touching weed, okay? I hate the way it smells. I don't like the idea of weed. It's not for me, okay? I don't want to even try edibles, okay? There's something that seems very off about it, and I don't want to try it. It scares me. This is also the same person that did other drugs as well. I don't want to do strong drugs. I have picked my poison, and it is strong liquor, and that is it. If I want to abuse a substance, it will be alcohol. Alcohol abuse. I could never abuse alcohol. I love it. You doing a drug? Mocha! Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm talking about how much I love alcohol. And how lame stoners are. I have stoner cousins. I think maybe that's why I'm disgusted with weed, is because I have cousins that are really, really into it, to the point where it's their whole personality. Minus caffeine. I get it supplied by using code Midas at GamerSupps. Hell yeah, Dynamite! Although, GamerSupps doesn't actually have caffeine. It uses nootropics. Love weed, but I also use alcohol. Mocha, you are a creature I could never understand. But you know what? You're also a rock and roller, and rock and rollers are known to use like multiple kinds of drugs. I think it was called crossfading, right? Do you crossfade, Milka? Because I feel like you would. Do you like Scotch, man? I love Scotch. I love Scotch. I love Scotch. Scotch is great. Loves liquor, whole family is a thing from mines, lives in the mountains. Are we sure family are not honest to God dwarfs? And I mean, I am 5'4", I'm short. Maybe we're just like kind of... And you know what? I am kind of bulky. Like, I'm strong and sturdy. My family is... I mean, you know what? We are built from... We are genetically Ukrainian peasant stock, right? Like, we are very short and we are very stocky, very strong. So... We're just fucking dwarves, okay? You are 100% right. This is the new meta. I am your FBI agent, core of dwarfdis. Guys, am I adorfable? Gotten rid of all my addiction except VTubers, and honestly, kind of miss them. You know what, Vizier? Moderation is everything. Moderation is everything. Moderate the amount of VTubers you have and slip in a vice here and there. Those who are the most successful aren't the ones that kill all their vices, because those people are often the most insufferable. It's the people who can control their vices. Weed is more healthy than liquor. I don't care if it's more healthy than liquor. It stinks. I personally just don't like it. Unironically, if I was to be a fantasy creature, I love elves. I love the idea of elves. I love the fantasy of being tall. I love the pointed ears. Elves are sex. Elves are 100% sex. And you cannot tell me otherwise. Oh, so you're a basic bitch? No, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm allowed to have some basic tendencies. Excuse you. Desu, agreed? Yeah! Elves are sex. Not a short stack elf? Okay, short stack elves are appealing. I do like short stack elves, but I've always wanted to be tall. I'm so sad that I'm short. I like being tall. Aren't elves tiny and live in the North Pole? Elves suck. We hate elves. All my homies hate elves. You guys suck! I love elves. But I also love vampires. I love my easy fantasy creatures. Chat, do I draw Midas as an elf or a dwarf? You should... Ooh, what about... Hear me out. Half elf, half dwarf. Very buff, very tall, very cool. Knife ears. Cool armor. A dwelf. Haha. An abomination! You're so mean. You're so mean! Imagine this. Midas covered in coal marks, all dirty, but like an elven clothes with pointy ears. That's an interesting visual, Ninjatron. Contra Malgra. Resub for 6 months of tier 3. Welcome. Welcome back. Thank you. And yes, Dwelf. Best left unlisted. Thank you for following on Twitch. No, dwells in D&D are regarded as ugly abominations. Okay, but like, what if, hear me out, what if I am the sexy dwelf, okay? What if I am what they aspire towards, huh? What if I'm an Eorf, okay? It's like, instead of a dwelf, I'm an Eorf. Main character syndrome. Look, if I don't get to be the main character here, I don't get to be the main character anywhere, okay? This is my time to fantasize. I don't think people are lining up to be- Shut the fuck up, Dynamite. I'm Eeyore. Ain't that the dude from Winnie the Pooh? Callow! Dwark. Eorf sounds like someone vomiting. Bitches love cannons. A moderately tall giraffe. Lol, Midas the sexy elf shirt. You guys are so mean to me. Long years live in the forest. Rabbits or elves? If elves had fursonas, they would be rabbits. Hobbit seems like an elf-dwarf mix, since short and weak. Found about you from your Postal 2 clip. I absolutely love when your eyes shrink. It looks so appealing. Hey! Fun fact, actually, my eye shrinking is tied to both my eyelid height and my eyebrow height, and in combination. So my pupils only shrink when my eyes are wide open in real life. So if I go... But if I lower my eyebrows and open my eyes all the way... It's not much, right? Like, I have to intentionally do it. So you guys are seeing very intentional movement with my face. Midas be the Santa Claus kind of elf. You guys are so mean to me! Hi, Midas. My pipes froze. Are you dealing with the winter storm too? Okay, Corp... Oh! I wish... I keep trying... Like, I keep waiting for snow. For context, I live in Canada, okay? I love my snow. But for the last few years, we've been getting less and less and less snow. I remember I used to get snow on my birthday in March. By the way, I learned something about my fucking birthday in March that's pissed me off real bad. We'll talk about that in a second. But in March, I remember as a kid, I'd always have snow on my birthday, and it would be so magical, right? But then as I got into being a teen, there was never any snow. And now on my birthday, it's fucking warm, and sometimes people go fucking swimming. Like, I hate it. I hate it so much. And we've had green Christmases 3 years in a row. I was so hoping that we'd get some snow for Christmas this year. In fucking Canada, where I live, we didn't have snow in Christmas. I was beside myself. We had snow for 1 day this December, and in January we had snow a little bit yesterday, and it melted today. So now everything's just fucking wet. Can you imagine a Canada without snow in January? Like, this is one of the reasons I love Canada. It's the snow! Anyway. Remember it was raining. Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah. I learned that somebody's VTuber birthday is the same as my IRL birthday. And I was planning some stuff for my IRL birthday in March. And I found out it's exactly at the same time as somebody's VTuber birthday. And it's just like... Fuck, we have too much of a crossover community. People are gonna lynch me if I try to have my birthday at the same time as they have their birthday. So we're not celebrating my birthday on broadcast. To be fair, the last 5 years, I haven't celebrated my birthday on broadcast because I don't like doing it, but this was gonna be like the first time I was gonna do it. But then, the person I was working with kindly reminded me that they would be too busy working on the other person's birthday merch, and I'm like, what do you mean their birthday's the same day? What the fuck? Ooh. No, and you know what? They'd been pre-planning that person's stuff for a while too, so it's like, it is what it is. But like, I think I would never hear the end of it if I, like, had my birthday the same day as that VTuber. Genuinely. Everyone who shares my birthday gets lost. Get lost is mine. Is the camera movement new, by the way? It's cool. Oh, no, I've always been able to do it, and I've always been doing it. I use my mouse and keyboard to do it. Gotta get back to work before I go. Would you like a spare PS2 and a copy of the Sonic game? I swear it's really fun. Fun stream, by the way. Thank you, Ezra Forever 41, and thank you for the 5. I don't think if I had a PlayStation, I would use it, if I'm going to be honest, because it is a lot of setup, and I have a lot of other things on my plate to do. I think in the future, if I ever did more game casts, and I was really getting into it, I might look into it, but at this point in time, I don't plan on doing anything that involves getting a console and setting it up. I'm just gonna stick with PC for now. Midas popping out of a birthday cake like a stripper, that'd be so funny. There's a reason I said good artist. Okay. Okay, now we need to draw Japanese furry, elven, dwarf, Midas. Actually good artist. Wow. Gamecast, like the Sega Dreamcast. I mean, yeah. Also, DaVinci905, thank you for the follow. I'll just zoom out. I'm trying real hard to talk today, but I'm starting to feel my voice giving. I promised myself at minimum an hour, and I'm gonna try and push it to 2 hours, okay? But if my voice cuts entirely, it is what it is. Slowly running out of things to talk about? Oh, never. We're never running out of things to talk about. No, protect your voice? No. My character's birthday's 2 weeks off my actual birthday. I've not ever picked a fake birthday for VTubing because I felt like there was really no need to because I never did anything for my birthday anyway. So it's always been my IRL birthday. Though, if I ever had an opportunity to publicly change it, I probably would change it to something else again. Yanus Raid. Yanus Raid? Who's Yanus? Who's showing off their Yanus? Hello, Raiders. Just talking about birthdays. How is everybody doing? Oh, got quite a few following. Who's Yanus? Berry Bug. Okay. Hello, everybody. Oh yeah, you must be torturing a therapist, talking about furries, talking about furries again, talking about AI art as it relates to furries. +2 joke. Oh no, they're all up in my Yanus. Exactly. Man-eating Pikachu, Nezunagi, Elux Games Time to Donk, Reset Crumpets, Yuzu Rin, Zal Zero, Poor Yorick, Natural Rhapsody, Coolin McRuven, Minty Fresh Kyle Pud. Thank you for the follows. Man-eating Pikachu. That's such a good fucking username. I love that. I never used a fake birthday either, despite the privacy concerns. I mean, it's just convenient, alright? And here's the thing. Here's the reason why I've never really panicked. Especially, okay. Those who came to my members' broadcast a while ago may remember there was an incident when we were looking at Chris Chan's website where I doxed myself. I cut it out of the VOD, so you can't find it now. But I doxed myself, right? And there's a reason why I didn't panic. My digital footprint is invisible. Like, my real name, IRL, I only have, like, one account that uses it, and it is empty because I've never used it for anything, because I've always been so chronically online that I've always been afraid as a kid that people will find me. Like, I've been so hyper paranoid that I only ever made one account, and that was to talk to my family on it, and it doesn't have any pictures, it doesn't have anything like that on it. And so every other one of my social media accounts have just been fake usernames. They've been fake names. They've been this, that, the other thing. And my IRL name, it doesn't have any locations tied to it. Like, so it's just like, oh no, I doxed myself. You know my name. It's like when an anime character's voice actor, you find out their name in the credits section. That's how worried I am about it. But I was more worried about the fact that it happened on Chris Chan's fucking website, because that place is fucking cursed. Everybody that's bought a Sonichu medallion has met some horrible fate. Like, their entire careers have been ended, this, that, the other thing. So my name being tied to that kind of bad juju has scared the shit out of me. And I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop and for me to be cursed. Like, legitimately. Oh no. Anyway, type moment. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just like, oh no. Anyway, I'm probably going to be the victim of the Chris Chan curse, and I'm pissing myself in scared anticipation. Honestly, smart, especially with the things as they have gone the last few years. You know null. Doubt. I doubt that you know null. You're cursed because you're a YouTuber forever. Honestly, Auntie Haunty. Auntie Haunty, I love you. You're my favorite Auntie Haunty. My favorite ghost. But yeah, no, it was... Oh. Oh, I was going somewhere with it. I lost my thought, but you know what? The thoughts are big, beautiful, and a little bit aggressive. If I knew your name, I'd be too shy and lazy to do anything about it. Oh, right. Online privacy. As a kid, my earliest exposure to the internet was the fucking bullying scandal, where I think it was Amanda Todd. Her, like, one of the first videos I ever saw while being online was her, like, suicide video, where she was showing the flashcards talking about how her nudes were leaked and stuff like that. And immediately, my first exposure as, like, a 5-year-old kid, it was just like, online is dangerous and it has consequences. Nobody will ever know me. Because that shit terrifies me. And always online, over and over and over again. I was never really an active participant in social places unless it was fandom. And when it was fandom, I used alternate aliases because I like to roleplay. So fucking sue me. But I would always, over and over again, whenever I would feel a little bit more comfortable and ready to share personal information, another news story would break about somebody whose life was ruined because they shared personal information online. So as a kid, I was always hyper aware of my presence. So painfully aware. I never needed any talks from my parents. I was the one giving talks sometimes. Like, maybe being a conspiracy theorist is, like, in my blood. You know, it's just, we're all scared of everything all the time. Probably get all by with Mutahar because he's all about that internet security and privacy stuff. So, here's the thing. I love Mutahar. He's my favorite Indian from Canada. But, I don't know. That situation with him and Nux, it's been really weird. And I've kind of fallen out of love with Mutahar because of it. Because it feels very... He's got no proof of anything, but he's throwing out half-baked accusations of something that didn't happen, and he's not even sure that he can substantiate. He's just kind of virtue signaling to make himself look good in case something does substantiate the claims against Nux down the line. And it's like, you ran a podcast with this guy, you should know the content of his character, or whether or not you can trust him, but you're, like, pussyfooting around things with no proof, and it's just, I don't even like Nux that much, because he did, like, art thievery, right? But what I dislike more than art thievery are traitors. I dislike people that are so quick to jump the gun to suit their own needs when there's no proof. When there's proof, go right ahead. Do your worst. But I don't know. I mean, his dark web browsing series, it was great. I loved it as a teenager. But I don't know. Mutahar, he's been a bit soured for me because of that. I just like him more on his beef with Vishoja. That one was like, to me. Nux is a cloud chaser. Muta is a hypocrite. It is what it is. It's virtual signaling and trying to protect yourself by doing worse things. Basically. I'm all for his advice on internet safety, because I do think he genuinely has good points, but I don't know. I think I need time before I can reassess how I feel about Mutahar. Yeah. No one's perfect. No, of course not. I know that I have some people that absolutely fucking hate me. In, like... Here's the thing. It's, Tom Scott's law. If you say something online about someone, they will ultimately end up seeing it. Kind of like how, the guy who made Undertale, always sees everything that everyone ever says about him, and he sees all the fan art, and he comments on a lot of it. Money Attack. Thank you, Mia Inskeep, for the 2. Just like that. I see every fucking thing that gets said about me in multiple languages, and I have some very, very dedicated haters. But it is what it is. That's just the internet. And I have my own hypocritical moments. I have my moments of growth. I have things that people dislike me for because my opinion is too strongly against what they believe in. And that is entirely not my problem. I'm busy. To be fair, you got very motivated fans as well. Exactly. I let myself get yes man, one guide, not yes man, one guide way too often. And so, I'm getting better at not getting one guide. I love Midas not. Oh yeah, you too, Zupdoodle. I also not love you. 0 out of 10 to Zupdoodle. I know that you're only here for Blue Midas and then you're gonna dip forever. One whatted? One guide. Bob Jones, one guide is... It's when you see a billion comments, a million messages flying past you, and the only thing that you can focus on is the one negative comment that one person made in a sea of neutral or good comments, and so you call that one out and you bring attention to it. It's a phenomena that... It's a natural human response, right? Like, people can hear good things all the time, but as soon as they hear a bad thing, that's the thing they hyper-focus on because that's the thing they don't want to hear, right? I'm getting better at that. Negative comment placeholder. Interesting. I only like Midas's eyes. Lamau. You're very real for that. Watching it work. Love your Butcher Vanity cover. Thank you, Mia, and thank you for the 2. Oh, like Asmongold does in streams. Didn't one guide come from Germa? I love Germa. He makes no sense to me. Yeah, let me put my hair down. Let me get dressed for you. There's a bunch of new people in here today from multiple raiders. I gotta wear my Sunday vest, okay? I gotta be in full gear. There we go. Hello! Where would we be without Germa? I'd like to pick Germa's brain. Okay, but more than Germa's brain, you know who I want to see? You know who I want to meet? Who I want to collab with? My hear me out and it'll never happen collab. Besides Nicolas Cage. Beetle and Neuro-sama. I would love to just spend time with Beetle and Neuro-sama. And people might be going, huh? Because at the beginning of the broadcast, I was bitching about AI. That's generative AI that scalps other people's work, steals it, and is entirely dishonest. There's so much nuance in differentiation between custom-built language learning models that are built in an enclosed system, made with a data set, made by one guy, not stolen from a bunch of people's like social media posts and shit. And massive image generators where it's all stolen data, right? Like, Neuro-sama is a piece of very lovingly crafted technology done in an ethical way. And I think it is the coolest version of AI. I think it is the one good methodology and usage case. And the more good stuff out there is, I mean, the better, right? Because it's all going to happen no matter what. So instead of focusing entirely on the shit I hate, I'm going to appreciate the very few good things that are out there. And I think Neuro-sama fucks. I think Neuro-sama is the coolest thing since sliced bread. And I think Beetle is a little awkward, but he's got the spirit. They're Eggman and Sage. That's hilarious. Seems like Germa can you do the meat grinder thing. I want to hear it in your voice. I thought she was a standard LMM, like GPT-4 or something. No, actually. She is an entirely custom system. She's a custom system built by Beetle and trained based off of her chat. So that's why at the beginning, there was issues with Neuro-sama because she didn't have the proper filters. And so when she was trained off her chat, they trained her to say incredibly racist and fascinatingly bannable things. But the system was updated. Still a bit butthurt about Neuro because I hate AI a lot, but otherwise I think she's so cool, so I don't complain about it. Well, but I think it's important to know the difference between different kinds of AI. because a lot of people blanket AI under one umbrella. And I think, like, it's a very naive point of view, but it's also not their fault because all they see online is just AI equal bad. And there's no further conversations about it. I want to pitch to you that it's not AI equal bad, but AI usage and creation equals output. And usage and creation, if it's self-contained and ethically done, is perfect and good. If it is scalping and it is thieving, if it is done in an unethical way, that is bad. And most image generators, it's done in a very bad way. There are very few systems out there, and they are entirely privatized, where they have like a few data sets by a few dedicated artists, and they generate images based off that, where everybody has submitted it themselves and they have permission. Those are good systems, but those are not the ones that every major company is using, because those ones take longer to train. It's easier to use the unethical, disgusting ones. That's why I'm not for AI image artwork, because it's not ethical in 99.999% of the usage. And it's why I don't like ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is trained off of everybody's social media posts and off of articles and off of Google searches and off of things that people have written, off of novels, off of film transcript, off of YouTube video transcripts, off of things that nobody consented to be put into this AI. And it's insidious. So that LLM, bad. Garbage. A lot of chatbots are also stemmed off of that particular branch. And Midjourney, like the image generator, again, it's all thievery. Those are popular and big because they stole. Bad AI. Bad, bad, bad. Neuro-sama was made by one guy, and it's on a closed system on one PC. It's not like a huge internet network that's constantly scalping for information and stealing people's data. It only learns based off of what it is allowed to learn, which is the chat, and chat knows that it's being learned off of. It is the most open and honest development of that kind of technology I've seen. And I think it is genuinely very sweet, very endearing. And Vidal treats her kind of like a daughter. And I think I'd love to see more of that. I want that in the world. The technology is gonna exist. It's already here. So why can't we have more of that? Why can't we celebrate it when we see that in particular? Anyway. First thing about Neuro-sama I ever saw was her being asked about African country, and her answer had me rolling. Definitely needed filters, lol. Yeah, red hair across. Like, there was, again, at the beginning, again, she was trained off her chat. Yeah, off topic, your gloves will now be green screen memes. Excellent. Excellent. That's this the perfect usage for my gloves. VTuber AI being more ethical than real people. Yeah, for real. Dark X King. Brings up the parental instinct. Detroit Become Human type beat. I would fuck all of the robots in Detroit Become Human. Nobody could stop me. Connor, the robot sent by Cyberlife, the robot that I'm renting. Thank you. Actually, did you know that Connor's actor, is a streamer on Twitch? Brian Deckhart, the voice actor and the full body motion capture actor and the face claim and whatnot, the guy who was scanned into the game to be Connor, he's a streamer. He just streams all the time. Deckhart Gaming. I'd love to spend time with him, but also I wouldn't, because I literally just said that I wanted to smash his video game counterpart. So actually, I don't want him to see me. Actually, I don't want him to hear that. Now that I'm thinking about it, because that's very chronically online of me. Is he streaming right now? I don't know. I'm busy broadcasting at the moment, so I can't check. Detroit Become Human is one of the very, very few games I've ever 100%ed willingly. Like, I have 100%ed it. I love it. Yo, Detroit, give me Ballerina Bot. That's crazy. He and his wife could be into it. No, Dino-Manic, no! Leave poor Amelia Rose Blair alone. I agree. More wholesome, ethical AI, less stealing mankind's purpose AI. Exactly. When does Detroit become human too? Never. Because, fucking... the guy in charge of that studio was so butthurt over how well it did compared to the other games that he swore there would never be a sequel. David Cage in all of his rage. "28 stab wounds! Didn't want to give him a chance, did you?" Yeah, no, I think... You know that Twitter post meme that's like, women will be having more sex with robots than men in 2025? I think if all the robots looked like Connor, like Brian Deckard's version of Connor, from Detroit Become Human, I think he's my favorite mid-looking white boy. I would understand why. I would understand why. Midas modded into Detroit Become Human. Is there Detroit Become Human mods that work like that? I regret bringing this topic of conversation up. You will suffer the consequences of your actions, lol null. Women will have more sex than robots than men, and men will have something new to get off on. Honestly, I think that post is totally bullshit, if I'm gonna be honest. I feel like men will have more sex with robots than women. And, like, that's not, like, a negative. I just think that's, like, just genuinely how the outcome is gonna be. It's not like a, ew, men are gonna fuck robots. It's gonna be like, yeah, men will probably fuck more robots than women. Because, like, to fuck a woman is to, you know, be attached to a woman emotionally. And that causes issues on both ends. Why attach yourself to a woman who expects everything financially when you could just fuck a robot who's like a one-time purchase? And for women who are scared of being beat the shit out of by men, why potentially fuck somebody who might beat the shit out of you? When you could just get a robot. To be fair, my robot will beat the shit out of me. Today I learned there's combat umbrellas. Yeah. One-time purchase is wild. Now, Bob Jones. I am very sympathetic to the male plight. To be fair, men would prefer a robot than a woman who could steal your house legally. There's interesting. We need to protect the robots from these insatiable sluts! That's crazy. Certainty of steal over relationship. Robot rights. Instructions unclear. Robot malfunction is beating the shit out of enemies. This is the future we're talking about. The sex robots will be subscription-based! I'm gonna get the choking DLC. I'd rather have the SAO deep dive touch. Fair. Robots are gonna be forced into terrible smut and awful plots. Oh my god. Can you imagine? Miss the genuine interaction though. There's no real connection. I mean, of course not. But for some people, that's a small price to pay, right? Because some people are not trained on emotional intimacy and connection, and it's very daunting and scary, and they can't handle it. And maybe they could handle it if they tried it, but the world is too dangerous for them emotionally. It's just been designed that way. More traditionalist countries are going to be more open to training their children into being able to handle emotional and physical intimacy, but places like the US and Canada, I absolutely believe that the reason that our birth rates are declining so rapidly, kind of like Japan, is just, it's financially, it's socially, it's just... We just don't have the training anymore, and the ones that do have the training get punished for it, and the ones that don't have the training but act on their impulses damage the ones that are still willing to try. And so there's 3 bad things going on. Insert credit card for more session time. That's crazy. It's like inserting more coins into the telephone phone booth to increase your call time. Great replacement, but with robots instead of immigrants. Albus, you're gonna get my VODs nuked! That's one of the things you're not allowed to say. YouTube doesn't like the R word. You can grind out for 20 hours to buy this new position where you can spend $20 and get it now. That's insane. Insert card or select cash item. It's like you can slip the cash into like maybe it's like a slit in their throat or something. Phone booth Midas, your Hedgehog. I'm 25. I know what a phone booth is. I grew up watching 101 Dalmatians 2. And recently, somebody has made me watch some Doctor Who. I know what phone booths are. Actually, I watched Full Metal Alchemist. I know painfully well what a phone booth is. I'm not a hag until 30. Yeah, I'm not. A Disney direct-to-DVD sequel? No wonder you would hate them nowadays. Unironically, oh, Bill and Ted! Oh my god, Auntie Haunty, you are so iconic for that. I love Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And I love the sequel even more. The 3rd film I have not watched, but I heard that it was dog shit, so I'm not trying it. Honestly, I'm more in Vito's position. I want a robo-daughter. My genes are too F to risk finding a lass and having a kid. Yeah, I think I'd like a robo-child as well. Didn't the newest one have Weezer in it, so it must be good? I have no idea. Evil rabbit moment in Bogus Journey gave me nightmares as a kid, lol. I like that they had Death be like this weird comedic character. It was great. Loved Pink Panther and Wallace and Gromit as a kid. I liked the Pink Panther cartoon. We had them on DVD. I don't know. Classic hand-drawn animated cartoons like that always have had a wonderful charm. Bro, what? A robo-child sounds so much more cringe than a fur baby. I mean, haven't you ever seen the movie with Robin Williams where he stars as a red robot? The movie Robots? Those robots had robo-babies, and they upgraded them every so often. I don't know. Have you read Citrus? I have not, but I have heard that it is a very, very good romantic story, and I'm interested in reading it. I hope it's actually good. Bicentennial Man? Yes. Remember Pixels 2015 where the one main characters fucked Cubert? Excuse me? I never watched Pixels? What do you mean he fucked Cubert? That's crazy. Your thoughts on artificial wombs? My thoughts on artificial wombs? I like the concept. I genuinely like the concept. But I don't know how it can be done. Like, I can't fathom of a way that it can be done. Right? I'm sure maybe the technology will eventually develop, but I think... Here's the thing, you're talking to the person that thinks it's a good idea to selectively breed people for their strongest traits. Not to kill the weak people, but to breed the strong. So artificial wombs are just an extension of that kind of thought process. Like, if people willingly submit their DNA for cash or DNA for whatever because they have positive traits and the next generation is born that way, right? Then you don't have to worry about biological clocks of women, and you don't have to worry about, like, procreation, like, as a biological need, right? The human race will be able to continue itself in a way that can bypass some initial biological steps. I think that's a cool idea. Could it be abused? Absolutely, just like everything else. Just like nuclear power has absolutely been abused to make bombs that hit countries. But nuclear power can also be the solution to the world's problems. These ideas are fascinating in theory, and in some practice ideas, I'm sure that they are great. I just am not sure the way that one would go about it. I think artificial wombs would inevitably lead to a genetic bottleneck. One bad disease targets a specific gene and everyone dies. I think that's an interesting thought. I feel like if you were selectively bred, you would avoid the genetic bottleneck, would you not? Like the whole point of picking and choosing specifically how the humans are created, it would avoid creating kind of like the incest route. Yes? Windmill hate, spicy rock, boil love. Absolutely. Me and the boys chilling in the eugenics council session. Selectively bred is a whole new bottle of worms. If you were selectively bred. Hello, Zeffy Sonas! How are you doing? You silly red dragon. Everybody, Zeffy makes the best music. 100%. Wait, I could get my robot pregnant? Again, there we go. That would be another interesting usage case of an artificial womb to impregnate your robo girlfriend. Genetic bottlenecks do happen. See bananas. I'll look into it, although I don't think it'll do anything practical for me. I heard you're sick. Hi, Ayumi. I'm very sick right now. And I know the instant I stop broadcast, my voice is going to vanish because I can feel the sandpaper throat thing going on right now. And I think the moment I rest it and relax it, it's going to like shrivel into itself. So I'm trying really hard to keep my energy up because I know that I'm fucked at the end of broadcast today. We're talking about eugenics right now. We're talking about artificial wombs and genetic bottlenecks. Plot twist, your rebel girlfriend was a second player real person. Okay, that opens some really cool story ideas though. I kind of want that, like, in an anime or a game. That sounds so cool. I get the feeling if any corporation were to figure out how to clone people, it's probably the adult film industry. They have the necessary DNA to do it. Lucas Urefa, that is a cursed idea. That is a very cursed idea. I think selective breeding starts to get into a territory where you inherently gain a callousness for humanity that defeats the purpose. I mean, I think that's a matter of opinion. Some could argue that maybe it would breed an inherent love for humanity since you're working so hard to maintain it at its strength. Though, your point is very, very clear. Yes, my grimdark future where every man looks like Johnny Sins! In a world of Johnny Sins, one guy rises above the rest. An isekai where normal man is sent to the Johnny Sins universe. I think we should selectively breed the worst people, actually. Yes, Zeffy. Yes, because then us normal people would finally have a chance. May I hug you? Voodoo Gaming? I don't know. Should you hug me? Chat. I want one in the chat if I should give specifically user Voodoo Huggin. No, wait, was it Voodoo Huggin or Voodoo? I've already lost your username. Voodoo Gamin. One in the chat if I should give Voodoo Gamin on Twitch a hug. 2, if I should give Ayumi a hug. This is rigged, by the way. Ew, Twitch too, Lamau. I'd love an isekai anime of Johnny Sins made into an amalgamation. Ooh, if Voodoo Gaming changes the name to Voodoo Huggin', that's crazy. Where my hug at? You're gonna give Ayumi cooties? That's insane. For not give me a hug instead. You know what? I'm gonna give Callow a hug because Callow is one of my strongest soldiers. Callow, get over here. I've got my big green grippers, and I'm gonna give you a hug around your throat for all that you do for the community. Do not hug me. I do not want your leg. She's gonna give me cooties help. It's too late. It's too late, Callow. It's already done. You've been infected. 7 days. Please never say grippers again. Doesn't your Twitter say you're caustic? Yes, it does. Went from Robo Pussy to Johnny Sins Dimension. I mean, I want to see. I don't even want to participate in the Johnny Sins Dimension because that sounds terrifying. If I'm gonna be honest, I'd be scared enough of one Johnny Sins, a world of Johnny Sins. Anybody with a 2K plus body count is a creature that I cannot possibly fathom. So, no, I don't want to live in the Johnnyverse universe. I don't want to live in the Johnnyverse, but I would like to visit it, just to see. Who is Johnny Sins? Oh, Dinomatic. Johnny Sins is a male porn star. Into the Johnnyverse. Yeah. And a policeman, and a fireman. You're so fucking funny, Zeffy. How dare you? Stop being funnier than me on my broadcast. Man, I guess Midas knows more about male porn stars. Knows more male porn stars than me. Ayumi. Ayumi. Shh. Shh. Oh yeah? Name everyone. Nah. It's kind of like fucking, what's his name? Fucking Elon Musk. It's like Adrian Dittman. Name 3 men. Or no, it was name 3 women. That shit was so funny. You guys following the Elon Musk Adrian Dittman saga where he's LARPing as a 20-year-old? That's so funny. Oh, man. Like, okay, those who aren't caught up on God is funny as shit. Yeah, Des. No, those who aren't caught up, Elon Musk has been caught LARPing as people twice. The first time, he was LARPing as a baby fur on Twitter, and he was caught on his own account, LARPing as a baby fur. Second time, he was caught LARPing as somebody called Adrian Dittman, who was Elon Musk's biggest fan, and he would respond to all of his own posts going, oh my god, you're the coolest dad, or oh, your crypto is so good, or oh, you're so smart, like he was gassing himself up. And he was on a Twitter space one day, and he was Elon Musk using a voice changer, basically. And his voice changer broke, so people found out that it was actually Elon Musk. And then, Adrian Dittman went on it was a Fortnite streamer's stream. Like, he did a collab as Adrian Dittman with this Fortnite streamer, and the whole time he was LARPing being a 20-year-old. This shit was so bad, because the streamer was taking the piss out of him. He knew it was Elon Musk, and he kept asking him questions that only a 20-year-old would know the answer to. And every time, it was very much so the answer of like, hello, fellow children. Yes, I know what the YouTubes are. I know what the Minecraft is. I watched that cartoon, absolutely. But he didn't, right? Like, it was just, if you look up anything, it's so bad. How do you do, fellow kids? No one respects me on this website anymore. LARPing as a baby fur. Go back to that. What happened to that? Give me the lore. Ah, yes. Well, he was... Okay. He made an account with the name of his baby child, like his baby son, as the username. And he would type posts that were very weird, and they were furry-based. And it was very sexual and strange. It was bad. And he accidentally connected his main account to that account when he had a screenshot of his page that he posted to his main Twitter that he did delete soon after, that showed that as one of the alternate accounts up in his side profile. When you see the bubbles at the top corner, the icon for that was there. And there was something else as well that connected him, but it was really bad. He was being a baby fur of his own child. Who I just got here? Hello, Celeste. It was Elon Musk. Will you play Miku Fortnite with me? Ayumi, you are the only person I will ever play Miku Fortnite with. I will download it specifically just to play Miku Fortnite with only you and maybe Clotho. Those are the only two people I will ever play Fortnite with. This is scary. Can we go back to the robots? Can we go back to talking about robots and eugenics? You guys are so silly. Have you seen that animation James Lee did? Which one? James Lee's done a lot. But yeah. Elon Musk, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I don't like him. For multiple reasons. He has said some things recently that I 100% agree with. And then he has said other things, historically and recently, that I 100% don't agree with. Regardless or not, whether or not he says one good-based thing, or one bad thing, or it's a 50-50 split, or a 10-90 split, it doesn't matter. Because he was doing baby fur roleplay of his own son. In a weird, somewhat sexual way. And so I will never take him seriously. And the fact that he was LARPing as a 20-year-old to make himself seem like the coolest person online, he is the biggest fucking loser. His opinions do not matter to me. Hello, hello, just got here. Mushy mushy. Hello, quite a myth. Wait, did you take medicine? Your voice sounds normal now. No, but I've been brute forcing my voice the whole time, so I've cleared out lots of the phlegm. But it's very sandpapery right now, so I know the moment I stop, my throat's gonna, like, close up real tight, and it's gonna hurt. Yeah. Midas, would you like to have your consciousness uploaded to an android, or would you rather go out as an organic? I mean, if I could know that I would still feel the same level of consciousness after the transfer, and it would still feel like me, yeah, 100%. I'd absolutely love to do that. I am all for that. But I just don't know how they would do that. Genuinely. Like, I know that they could clone my thoughts and ideas and put it into that body, but then that's not me. I'm me. It's a sheep. I think the only way to properly do it would kind of be like in a ship of Theseus kind of way, right? Where you take a body part at a time. Like, you take the brain, for example, and you would put it in the cyber body that works with it. And then you slowly swap out parts of the brain with virtual parts. I think that's the only way to properly integrate it in my special game theory. I don't think directly uploading a consciousness would work, because I don't know how you would guarantee that that is you directly, because it's energy changing and transferring. It's not the same energy. And I'd be scared to just die and know that there's a clone existing of me instead of it still just being me when I was promised it being me and not a clone. But is that still the same ship? Yeah, I think ship of Theseus. Is it Theseus or Theseus? Either way, I agree that it's the same ship. I want to be a nightmare spider robot. Hell yeah. You are your brain. Yes, but like, what if your brain was augmented and then slowly pieces are swapped out over a long period of time? If it's still functioning physically identically, you got the same thoughts, the same feelings and emotions, but all that's left is a tiny piece of gray matter, and that's still physically your brain. It's still your brain, it's still functioning exactly the same, and it's still got that organic matter to a degree. If you take the tiny little bit out, are you dead? I don't think so. I think that everything else is still circulating the exact same way because it's the same energy transfer. I think the instant that it's a different current of electricity, because that's what your soul might be. The memories are tied to the specific setup and the specific energy. I can't claim to understand it. I don't know what a soul is, if a soul is anything. There's a long conversation to be had about it, but my theory is that it is possible to go 100% General Electric. I just don't know how. How about uploading your consciousness to the internet? I don't think you could do that. Not directly. Like, I think it has to be in chunks. It has to be through organic to digital thing. I don't think it could be digitally, like, direct. Because how could you know that that's the same current of electricity, not just a different one that's been given the same information? Maybe that's not your soul. Maybe you've created a new one. I want to remain conscious. I took a class on that. We would never know if an upload would be conscious, even if we could exactly tell you how it worked. We wouldn't be able to tell. Maybe, like, we know how a bat senses the world, but without being able to be a bat, we wouldn't know a bat's consciousness is like, or if they even have one, but we know how their mind works. Yeah, exactly. It's hard. We need more unethical experiments to test your theory. I sign up for this unethical experiment. Midas is the best ASMR artist, Lamau. You're not just your brain. Your brain is not designed to exist in a void. For whom the bell tolls, you need to hear, see, smell, and taste, and touch. Well, yes, cream corn, but all of those other senses have been artificially replicated. The brain is the only thing that hasn't been perfectly replicated. Because it evolves and it's so complex. It's the supercomputer of all supercomputers. Every other thing can be replicated. That's why I went with the brain, because you're not just your brain. You are your other senses. But those other senses can be replaced, swapped out. Hold on. I just had snot bubble out of my lungs and up into my nose. We made a complete map and digital copy of a fruit fly by, so we are getting somewhere at least. Maybe this number of souls is only 1% of the human population, so whole groups of people share a soul and never even realize it. That'd be so weird. As long as it's spiritually impossible to have two of you existing at the same time, I would call it a transfer. But face her, we don't know if it's impossible. And Streamlast, rest up. No, we're having a good time. Come on now. Also, Dennett, thank you for the resub for 6 months of tier 1. 7 months, that's crazy. Midas LARPing is an evil World War II Argentinian with a weird tectonic accent and these kinds of questions. Come on, Monsieur de Quack. I am not a Nazi. I will never be a Nazi. I don't hold any of those opinions. Excuse me. No. Right? Like, we would cease to be our individual self at death, but the individual self will still be realized as a portion of the contribution living being to a greater soul. So weird. Thank God. Okay. Because you would not believe how many there are in the VTuber community. No, lol, no. I know there is quite a few in the VTuber community. Because I've been approached by many of them. Because of the armbands I have. Which are based off of, like, Japanese school uniforms. And a few other fashion items. Even, like, Victorian, like, arm wraps. Like, no. Like, I have reasons for this to exist the way it does. And none of them are tied to Nazism. However, because the Nazis also had armbands on one side, people have decided permanently that I am a Nazi, which is dumb shit. It's also the chest pockets because I like pseudo-military kind of outfit, but it's based off of a very specific outfit, which is not an SS uniform. Thought you were a 30s gangster or a hitman, I don't know. Exactly, like something like that, you know, just... Thus, trans right litmus test. Oh, I missed half of what you said, Zephy. Oh, Nazism, not Gnosticism. I need to clean my ears a lot. Thought you were doing the military scientist get up. Nah! Thought those were just your tits. Actually, no, if I take off my pockets real quick. My tits are smaller because those are not my tits. Those are my pockets. Like, here we go, see? My pockets are very buxom. My chest is not. Medium boob at best. Big pocket. You know why? I fit rabbits in those pockets. This is why I'm gonna have to start running background checks on people when I start VTubing. There's some people that I did not imagine would be weirdos, but are. Yeah, no, there are some freaks out there. Not in the sheets, but in the streets, you know? Why do your pockets hang off the shirt? Because this is a jacket, for one, and two, they're filled with baby bunnies. I've got a bunny in each one, so they're full pockets. Midas skinning rabbits for fun. I don't skin the rabbits. Sisyphus does. And nobody is going to ever skin Crowbar because Crowbar is because the family favorite and the pet. Crowbar, my beloved. Midas, are you a bunny breeder? No, my family eats rabbits. We do have like a large amount of rabbits, but we kind of like how people raise chickens to eat chickens. We raise rabbits to eat rabbits. Actually, recently we had 9 baby bunnies, and two of them came out white with red eyes. So I don't know. I might try and twist the arm to keep one of the babies. They're very, very cute. And Crowbar needs a buddy, though. I need to make sure that they're properly taken care of, because bunnies love raping each other. Now, Crowbar is fixed. Crowbar no longer has his bunny balls, so he's not doing any of the raping. But if we have a male baby bunny, and it grows up to be a big baby, a big rabbit, no, you gotta separate the breeder males from the baby rabbits, because after they leave their pink stage and they've got fur on them, they either get eaten by their mothers or they get raped by the adult male rabbits. And a lot of baby rabbits do not survive. That's why it's very important that you separate them quickly. Yeah. Why are you guys acting surprised? Their mom eats them? Oh yeah. Well, only when they're stressed, actually. We give the rabbits enough food, so it's never like, they were starved, and so I had to resort to eating the babies. No, mother rabbits, like, sometimes they'll just, if they're stressed, they'll do weird shit. Like, they'll jump on the babies to kill them, or they'll eat them if they're upset. So we separate the babies from the mother as soon as they're done, like, weaning. You know, like, as soon as they're done, like, suckling off the mother milk. We separate them, like, as fast as possible, because we have had a few situations where baby bunnies are just dead because the mother was, like, a fucking beast. So how do wild rabbits survive? Well, they're not in cages, so baby bunnies can run away in the wild. But when they're in cages, like, they're big cages, to be fair, they can get cornered and then crushed to death or eaten. Yeah. Anyway, rabbits are interesting. I think, on that happy note, let's check how long broadcast has gone. Okay, we've at least gone 2.5 hours. Miss my bunny. I wish I could have shown him the world. Bunnies are very sweet creatures when they are raised properly. Have you tried citrus tea? Have you eaten any baby rabbits? No, we don't eat baby rabbits. Kiss me, Midas. Dust, go kiss yourself. Let's see. Let's find someone to raid on Twitch. And then we will end off. Well, it looks like Aries is live and Desync is live. Let's go to Aries. Now, you know me, I love my Mythos girls. Mythos girls are absolutely divine. So why don't you go show them some love? All right, everybody. On the Twitch side, raid message is Ouch Midas. All right, and everybody on the YouTube side, I missed you so much. You're my favorite of the two children. Feel better? I hope I feel better soon. I feel horrible. But first let me do a last second check for, well, thank you for joining the Duders, Face Hurt. I will make a schedule soon for Gamecasts, daily members. And where's the crossover episode between Johnny Sins and the Ron Jeremy universe? That's crazy, Umbre. Alright, we're ending broadcast. Bye-bye!